they were offended that all these people were walking through, whatever? Have they ever had any weird stuff happen during the attraction time?
As a matter of fact, yes. Throughout the building, they've had several patrons and the workers there talk about a little girl that roams throughout the Demon House now, and they've seen her and actually commented to the owners, the workers, saying, "How did you do this proper?" The little girl walks through the wall.
Wow.
And she's been seen by several people, and it's not one of their props. It's actually something that really does happen there.
That's wild. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Now, do you feel that maybe some of the other ghosts or what have you, spirits there, would they be possibly offended that these people are walking by?
I mean, if it was me, I'd say that they would be offended. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, that's pretty exciting stuff. And the book again is, just in case anybody is interested in the future of finding a way to learn about it, it's Hauntings of Pittsburgh and the Laurel Highlands. I can tell you that in the future I will be investigating this book.
Thank you.
Inspecting this book. And I'm not advertising, but I'm checking it out. I ain't saying for anybody else, I'm going to be checking them out. Now, I have kind of an odd question for you. I was in a Popeye's chicken restaurant last night, and I don't think this was anything paranormal, but it was kind of weird. Mm-hmm. I went to go to the restroom, and I put the knob down in the men's room to get in, and the door acted as if it was locked and actually kept me from getting in there. And I came back out and I was telling Kathy, I said, oh my goodness, I gotta wait for somebody to come out of the bathroom. And you know, it was one of those times where you're like, hurry up! And the manager actually overheard me and she said, I got news for you, there's nobody in that bathroom. I said, yes there is, it's locked. She said, it can't be locked, nobody's in there. She said, if they're in there, they've been in there for a long time. I said, I'm telling you, it's locked. I pushed down and tried to get in. And she said, well, I got news for you, it may be haunted because that happened to the woman's room a couple of times. So I couldn't get in. It was like totally, you could not get in there, right? Mm-hmm. So it was just kind of weird. So she went over there and she opened the door. It was fine. But she said they had problems in the woman's restroom. So I asked Mick and I think John and yourself when we were not on set yet. But I guess for me that seems kind of an odd place to be haunting. But do you think that anything like that is possible, or is it just a strange coincidence?
It could be either way. It could be possible that before the place was built there, there could have been a tragedy that happened on the property. Mm-hmm. It could be an old manager or an employee that had, had a tragic end or something that happened to them, and they may just be hanging around. And a lot of times they just play games with moving stuff, locking doors.
Wow.
Yeah. So we get a lot of reports of that, continuously.
So
it is very
possible
too. It can happen anywhere.
Wow.
I mean, at one point in time, it might not have been a restaurant.
That's true.
It could have been something else.
It's just kind of weird. So I have to say, excuse me, there's going to be a little bit of profanity here, so take the kids out the room. I was a little bit ticked off, so I went in there. I said, you ain't nothing but a dumbass ghost. Get out the restroom. I got to go to the bathroom here. I actually did say that. And the A word A. It's in the freaking dictionary, am I right? So anyway, well, you're a good guest.
You might have to go there and check out one out.
Maybe. I'm going to see. Anyway, my comb-over's messing me up here. Now, to the business at hand. I want to go with another ghost investigator, and this gentleman is named Mick of Mick's Ghost. So Mick, tell us the most frightening event you've personally ever been involved in and why it was frightening with regards to paranormal. Not being on here, that doesn't count.
Well, for one, my ghost is the Watchful Eye Paranormal Study of Pittsburgh. Mick's Ghost is basically just a page I put together on MySpace. It kind of launched WPS. I've never have been so scared that I wanted to leave a place or just felt overwhelmed that there were spirits there or whatnot. About the only two significant things that ever happened to me is my group did an investigation of the Iron Island Museum up in Buffalo, New York. The Iron Island Museum has some history to it. It was a church at one time, then it was a mortuary for, I don't know how many years, and then it was converted into a museum, a local museum for Buffalo, New York. When I went with my group to the Iron Island, that was the only time I ever physically got sick for no apparent reason. The whole time I was there, my head was pounding, my stomach was nauseated. Physically, I just felt really, really bad and like I shouldn't be here at all. And as soon as I left the place, all the symptoms went away. The symptoms started once I went into the building. The symptoms ended when I came out of the building. While we were in there, my group was able to capture, like John was talking, EVPs, recording of disembodied voices of people asking us either for help or telling us, they were lonely, they were sad. physically, we didn't catch anything on film. Most of it was on EVP. So that, I guess, I'd have to say would have been my most harrowing experience while doing the investigations. That's, yeah, I mean, everybody goes into a facility that's supposed to be haunted. If you're going in there and you're going to say you're not scared, I mean, everybody is scared to a degree. You're dealing with the supernatural. You're dealing with the paranormal. As to what degree of fear you're having, that's a different story. But no, I've never been so scared, just physically sick.
Well, that's pretty interesting. Now, I want to remind the callers that, well, the viewers, that you can actually call in after you go vote. But no, you do need to go and vote. But if you're still here and you've already accomplished that mission of voting, we would like you to call in if you have any calls. I mean, any questions. Okay, I'm sorry, and I don't even drink alcohol. But at any rate, if you have any questions for anybody here, including members of the audience, you can dial 412-231-2288. What's that number, Kathy? What's that number, Kathy? Oh, she doesn't remember. It's 412-231-2288. Can we say that? 412-231. 231. 2288. Hey, we make bloopers on live television, and I'm not going to edit them out.
Hey, Al.
Hit them out. What's up, Nick?
Could I add to something that Dawn was talking about?
No, it's against the law. Yes, go for it.
You had asked Dawn. He was talking about the demon house.
Right.
Your question was, do you think if a place is haunted, do the demons get upset about you being there?
Right.
Recently, this is in Dawn's book also, recently there's a place in Lawrence County that a lot of people started investigating. It's called the Hillview Manor Nursing Home. It's abandoned now. It's been abandoned since 2004. This home was built in 1925 as a county poor farm. It's just been within the past year that paranormal investigators have started looking at it as it possibly being haunted. The first couple times people went through there doing an investigation, they got very little evidence. We call it evidence if you pick up an EVP picture, so on and so forth. What I've noticed from reading reports of other people, and my team being there a couple times, my team just went there over Halloween, the more it seems like people are going to this place, the stronger and the angrier the evidence is getting.
Wow.
Now we're starting to get evidence of voice recordings of angry voices telling us to get out. Just get out of here. My one person, like I said, I wasn't able to join them on Halloween for their investigation, but one of my people who was there actually had a door slammed in her face.
Oh, my goodness.
She didn't get hurt. I mean, it didn't boom, boom, right in her nose. But she was just standing there in the door, just slammed shut. And so, to add to what Dawn was saying, yes, I think the more a place is bothered, the more the supernatural activity is going to get angry.
Wow. Well, I think that's great. Probably in about 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to have a tape roll. Before we get to that, I want to throw a couple of quick things out. First of all, this show will be seen, of course, live today and throughout November. And I want to make it very clear that Veterans Day will be coming up soon. I believe it's November the 11th. We need to thank all the living veterans for fighting for our freedom and for the ideals of the Constitution. Now, it also needs to be said that Congress has never, honestly, never lived up to the ideals of the Constitution. And if Congress truly wants to have laws called Patriot Acts, and they want to talk about patriotism, then let me just say, any Democrat that votes against a health care bill with public option, any independent or any Republican that shall vote against it, let's be clear. I'm not talking politics here. Let me be clear. The Constitution says that we are all equal and what have you. And these men and women who have fought and died for more than 234 years